You stand up for just a few seconds to grab a glass of water, adjust the light, or reach for the TV remote, and when you return, your dog is already sitting right where you were. Not rushed, not sneaky, no permission asked. Just settling in as though that seat had always been theirs. Sometimes they look at you with big, innocent eyes. Sometimes there's a mischievous glance as if to say, "You stood up, I just made use of the opportunity." And sometimes their look is so soft that you can't help but sit somewhere else so as not to disturb them. Most people think it's just a cute or playful act, or say dogs will be dogs. They like warm spots. But the truth is much deeper. How a dog takes your seat is a small ritual laden with messages about attachment, trust the scent and energy you left behind, and about how they see you as the center of their world. Each time they move into the spot you vacated, their body is saying something few people perceive. I feel safest where you just were. In the next few minutes, you'll explore the emotional, instinctive, and psychological reasons behind this behavior, from how they retain your scent to how they use that seat to say, "I miss you, I need you, and your family to me." Have you ever wondered why the moment you stand up, they instantly sit there? Is it love habit or a silent message you've been missing all along? AC or ace by. Item 1. They feel safe where you are sitting. Notice how each time you leave the chair, your dog immediately hops in, isn't just claiming a seat. That action is a subtle way of saying, where you just sat is safe. Dogs perceive the world through closeness and scent. When you sat, you left warmth, energy, and your personal scent on the chair. To them, that's like a soft embrace you accidentally left behind. By sliding into your spot, they seek the safety and stability you carry, turning the chair into a peaceful ground, a familiar and comforting territory in the home. Don't dismiss this lightly. If you often scold them, push them away, or ignore them, dogs learn you don't want closeness, and slowly they may hesitate to come near you. This moment is a subtle signal reminding you that attachment isn't just in words or petting, but also in them choosing to be near you even when you're gone. Does your dog often take over your seat just the moment you stand up, or instead sit quietly somewhere nearby? And when you realize this act is their way of searching for safety zone, you'll appreciate even more the next reason behind this behavior, where your scent becomes the emotional anchor that binds them to you. Item 2. Your scent is their emotional anchor. Have you ever noticed how when your dog hops into your chair, they sometimes inhale deeply, settle down, then exhale slowly? That's not accidental. Your scent is an emotional map they follow every day. When they sit in the place you just left, they embrace that scent, seeking comfort and emotional connection. Scent for dogs doesn't work like it does for us. It carries feelings, memories, even identity. When they nestle in your seat, they're saying, "You're mine. I'm safe. Everything is all right." Research from the Family Dog Project shows dogs regularly exposed to their owner's scent tend to have more stable hearts and lower stress levels. But if you scold or ignore this behavior, you unknowingly tear down that delicate bridge of connection. Not only do they lose comfort, but they also grow hesitant to seek closeness through scent and presence. Does your dog often slip into your chair and breathe deeply, as if inhaling your presence to feel safe? And when you recognize the chair becomes a part of you in their eyes, you'll better understand the next reason how they use that action. Not just to feel close, but to say, "I miss you," even when you're right beside them. Item 3. They take your seat because they miss you. When you move, sometimes you leave your seat for only a few seconds, and when you come back, your dog is already there. This isn't just about grabbing a warm spot. It's how they gently tell you, "I miss you." Dogs exist in connection. When you rise, they sense the absence of your warmth, your presence, your energy. Immediately, they fill that empty space with their body and breath. It's their subtle way of keeping you near, a wordless reminder that even when you move, they want to maintain connection. Pay attention to small cues, a glance at you, a gentle sigh when sitting, or a soft nudge. These are signals. Even when you're gone, I still need your presence. Studies of deeply bonded dogs show those who often claim their owner's seat are usually the most loyal, emotionally sensitive, and attached to their family. If you often shoo them away or treat this as mischief, you inadvertently sever that way they sustain connection. Taking over your seat isn't just a joke to them. It's how they maintain safety and love when you're temporarily absent. Has your dog ever claimed your seat the moment you stood up, as if reminding you how important you are to them? When you understand this behavior is their way of staying bonded, even when you're not there, you will be surprised by the next reason where they don't just remember you, but actually try to sense your emotional state from that seat. Item 4. They're absorbing your emotional state. From that spot, have you ever sat down and noticed your dog settling into your previous spot, exhaling deeply, or looking at you with focus? They're not just taking your seat, they're attuning to you. Dogs are extremely attuned to human emotions. Research from the Duke Canine Cognition Center shows they monitor your breathing rhythm, muscle tension, even your energy to read your mood. When they sit where you just were, they pick up on your emotional state, figuring out whether things are calm or tense, whether you're safe or stressed. Don't dismiss this subtle connection. If you ignore or push them away, dogs may lose their ability to sense and respond to your emotional signals. Sitting in your seat is their way of building an emotional bridge between you. Has your dog ever settled into your spot and seemed like they could see through you, like they understood you without words? Once you recognize this, you'll see the next reason becomes even more meaningful. This simple act becomes a way to affirm a sense of family, belonging, and togetherness. Item 5. Sitting in your seat makes them feel like family. Every time your dog sits in your chair, they are silently saying, "You are mine. This seat is ours." It's not about ownership. It's a feeling of belonging to a family. In the dog world, only the most trusted members of the pack share resting spaces. When they claim your seat, they declare that you are part of their family, their pack. Studies of deeply bonded dogs show those who do this often hold the strongest emotional ties to their owners. Let them sit a little longer. Give a gentle stroke or a soft smile. That small act reinforces the message, "We belong together and I'm safe by you." Have you noticed your dog often chooses the chair you just vacated to show that sense of family? And when you understand this feeling of kinship, you'll see why the next reason matters, because sometimes this seat claiming is an invitation to share space and life with you, not just a place to sit. Item 6. They're asking for shared space, not just the seat. You might think your dog claims your seat because they want warmth or comfort, but the truth is more beautiful. They want to share space with you, not just the chair. Deeply bonded dogs sense the gap you leave behind. When they move in, it's their way of saying, "I want to be near you. I want to be part of your moment." That's their subtle request to be included in your life, to share your rhythm. They remind you that the space you make isn't just yours, it's ours. If you ignore them or push them away, you break that harmony. When you respond gently, the dog senses respect, connection, your heartbeat, your breath, your presence all become part of a shared moment. Has your dog ever settled into your chair just to quietly whisper, "Stay with me a bit longer"? Once you recognize this as an invitation to share space, not just warmth, you'll see the next reason how they sometimes use seat taking to gently call your attention without words. Item 7. They want your attention. Gently and quietly. Sometimes the dog hops into your seat, fixes their gaze on you, wags their tail softly, or even emits a tiny whine. It's not mischief. It's their way of saying, "Notice me a little." Dogs are skilled at placing their bodies where you can't ignore them, especially when you're busy. This act is gentle but effective, like a quiet bell reminding you they're here, wanting your attention, a pet, a look, or just acknowledgement. Don't immediately scold or shoo them away. If you respond with a soft look, a warm smile, or a gentle pat, you reinforce the message, "I see you. I care about you." And the next time they may come even closer, using even more subtle signals instead of making noise. Does your dog often settle into your seat to catch your attention, even when you seem busy? Once you understand this as a loving reminder, you'll see why the final reason matters. Because sometimes they claim your seat to mark it with their own scent, bonding with you in a deeper, invisible way. Item 8. They're marking the seat with their own scent to bond with you. Dogs don't just take your seat for warmth or attention, they leave a subtle mark with their scent. When they settle down, their body releases pheromones into the space, blending with your scent. It's their way of saying, "We belong to each other." Research from UC Davis and the Family Dog Project shows scent marking behavior is a vital part of social communication in dogs. When they claim your seat, they transform it into a bonding zone, a space where emotions, scent, and safety merge, creating stability and a sense of belonging. If you scold them or disallow this behavior, you break that subtle emotional network. But if you let them sit even for a few seconds, you help build a deeper connection between you and them. Have you noticed your dog creeping into your chair, inhaling and leaving their scent right before you return? When you understand this, you'll see that what looks like a trivial, even bothersome act may be their way of telling you how much you matter, that they feel safe and deeply connected to you. These small actions, seemingly simple, are actually powerful emotional bridges. When you respond with a soft glance, a smile, or a gentle pat, you're saying, "I see you. I understand you. I love you." And once you understand that, you'll realize these tiny moments build a whole peaceful, loving world where your dog feels truly at home. So does your dog often take your spot? When do they do it? The most. Share your story. Maybe it will help someone else understand and cherish their dog the right way too. Thank you for staying with PawTalk Central. Watch for the next video where we'll decode even more subtle signals your dog uses to share their heart. See you there.